feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we go party till we black out. So get the fuck up. So covering dock, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up, next floor is us, you're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift
traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and we are live here once again for the F1s. We've had a little bit of a break this season due to, we could have like the off season, I guess, but we've had a little break due to the World Endurance Championship, firstly, and then the F1 round last week was postponed due to the fact that we had a late starting Grand Prix in actual F1, and also I came down with COVID, so I was unable to speak, talk, or do anything whatsoever. But we're back here in F1, and we're back at the Hungaroring here at Budapest. I think it's Budapest. Nope, it's not Budapest. I think it's Budapest. I don't know. Either way, we're here at the Hungaroring. 14 corners. This circuit holds 70,000 capacity and was opened in 1986. It's currently been at the F1 for donkey's years now. Since 1986 to the present day, this F1 event has been here at the Hungaroring. And like I said, 14 corners and one of the most trickier circuits on the calendar to race at and overtake at. But we are here, and the championship is still alive, even though the GT3s have finally come to an end. The pros and the pro-ams, the F1 championship and the World Endurance Championship is still well underway. We're currently watching PN Motorsport and Green Pies currently out on track with one another, trying to set their best lap times here in their qualifying session. Championship standings looks like this. Matimovic leads the way by quite a margin of 63 points ahead of Green Pies, but Green Pies trying everything he possibly can to bring that gap down, as we've already lost the Mutts Nuts and Rabbit Joe from this session. So that's a good start for them. Then it's Gary131 bringing the gap down, 85 points behind Matimovic, and in 4th place is Mazda, 5th place is Sutty Apex, 6th is PM Motorsport, 7th is Fury, 8th is A Smith, 9th is Emo Guy, 10th is Monkey Boy, 11th is the Mutts Nuts, 12th is D-Biggs, 13th is DJ Phil, 14th is KLF 900, 15th is Argent, 16th is Rabbit Joe, 17th is Go 10 Duffin, 18th is Bryn, and 19th place bringing up the rear is Leon Fernie. Teams Championships looks like this. Aston Martin lead the way by quite a gap over Williams. 249 points Aston Martin has to Williams is 93 points. Then it's Haas in 3rd place, McLaren in 4th, 5th is AlphaTauri, 6th is Alpine, 7th is Ferrari, 8th is Alfa Romeo, 9th is Red Bull, and bringing up the rear is Mercedes-Benz. And got a couple of people in the chat. We've got PM Motorsport Smithy in the chat at the minute, and listening to the voice of a GOAT, 3 times champione. What a guy, N-Dubs. Cheers to Smithy, thank you very much, mate. Yep, 3 times pro champion in the GT3s. Won that on the Thursday, but we're focusing on the F1, and it is Green Pie setting the pace at the minute in the Alfa Romeo. Done it on the medium tyre by the looks of things. That does set a time of 1:17.4. We do have a yellow flag. Let's get the map up here. There is a map so we know where the yellow flag is, and we have got a McLaren coming through the first sector, which is Sutty Apex. So we will go on board with Sutty Apex for a lap here at the Hungaroring. He exits the final corner, make sure he gets a good drive, and DRS should be wide open, which it is, as we then head to turn 1, as he's decided to bail on this lap. So that really helps me out. We've got quite a traffic here of cars. One of them is then this man here, Big Boy Brazier, has now joined the F1 calendar. He's recently bought the game and is going to give PM Motorsport a hand out in the Ferrari, as Leon Fernie hasn't really turned up to the last few sessions. So we are on board with Big Boy Brazier as he exits the final corner. Hopefully he does a full lap. So exits the final corner, get the DRS wide open. A Smith just behind him, and Big Boy Brazier goes into 2nd place position. DRS wide open as he goes down into someone, breaking the 100-meter board, making sure you get that inside corner bang on, and then exit really well. Mummy Davis in the chat as well. Evening all, as he comes down into turn 2, hit the 50 make a mile, get a nice good turn in there, really taking all the curve there. It's Big Boy Brazy over to turn 3, get over the curve, right up to turn the exit, and then up to turn 4. Very quick corner, very easy to mess up, and he gets it nailed. And then turn 5, you want to avoid hitting that inside curve. If you touch that inside curve, the car will go round, as Jamie comes into the finals to here. A middle sector into the chicane, very easy to hit the curves and go wide into the fast flowy section now. You need to be in a rhythm here as you go left, go right, all the way out to the curb. Get a nice smooth run through here, and he's really trying to nail this car down as he exits that corner now. and gets a good exit down the back straight, down into the final sector now. Really slow section here. He nails that right-hander. He then heads into 2 of the hairpins, of making sure he doesn't touch that curb, which he does so. Exits that corner lovely. Gets a good drive up into this hairpin now. Once again, a good drive out the corner. If it's a decent lap, you'll be near the top. And Jamie Brazy crosses the line and goes second. But right behind him, A. Smith goes in 3rd place, just behind his toe, as Matahimovic is out of the session. So your championship leader is unable to set a lap time here. So at the minute, he will be out qualifying the Mutts Nuts and Rabbit Joe at this stage. And now Monkey Boy goes ahead. Still waiting on Fury, Goten, Duffin and Gary all to come out of the pits. Argent currently out on track as well. Mazda leaving it to the last minute to get out on track as Ps4 steps out. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Let's hear from you. Let's get some messages in here tonight and get your predictions on who you think is going to take pole position tonight. At the minute, it is Green Pies on pole position, as Matthew Duffin says, whoops, as he's made a mistake here already tonight, and he said he was not looking forward to this one. Argent, currently on an out lap, is now starting his fastest lap here at Budapest. As A. Smith says, go on, Little Smith. That's his little brother there. As I think A. Smith is a little bit slow up in the middle sector. No, that is Monkey Boy. He slowed right down. I don't know why he slowed right down. He's getting right out of the way of the Mercedes of Bryn, who nails that chicane there. Guys, let's get your chat in the chat. Let's get you hear from you as Bryn goes through the sector now, and he's got his lights flashing. That's his engine harvesting energy right now as he goes through the fast section now. We've got an interesting look at the season as well for Formula 1. It is Ferrari versus Red Bull this year, and Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen have got 1 each, as the Mutts Nuts has left the session. Hopefully he can get back in. Bryn back into the pits. Is anyone currently on a lap time? Sati Apex looks like he's on one. As he comes into the middle sector now. 13 people currently watching. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And also hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you can't miss a single moment here at Simplane Motorsport. The GT3 season might have been done, but we still got the F1 Championship and we still have the World Endurance Championship. We've got this week of Formula 1, and I believe next week is World Endurance. So we head to Spa once again as Sati Apex into the pits. So Argent is on a lap time. Actually, he's just done a lap time. He goes into 7th place position. DJ Phil currently on his out lap. He's had a lovely holiday, I believe, in San Francisco, but that's the things. But DJ Phil back behind the wheel of the car and is on his way. Hi, 3-time champion. Are you scared of me? Says Emplava. I am not scared of anyone. As if anybody have obviously read the Discord and read the Facebook page, due to the fact that we have a lack of commentators for the pro season, I've decided to take a season out of GT3s to bring you the action here at Simplane Motorsport, commentate on the guys as well, and yeah, enough about me. Let's focus on the F1 guys as they are out here tonight, and it is between Matt and Green Pies, and Green Pies already setting a pace on pole position. Can this man, Big Boy Brazier, sorry, I keep getting his name wrong, can he upset the top 2? That is the question. Jamie, a very, very good driver in GT3s. I've had the pleasure of racing him. Good commentator as well. Had the pleasure of racing him in Season 2 and Season 3. Very, very quick guy. Can he take the fight to the top 2? I do like this camera angle. The car looks so majestic as we're going through the left and right. As Matt and Mummy D are having a lovely chat in the chat. Sati looks like he's coming out for a lap. Still no Fury or Goten Duffin or Gary yet coming out. As we had a spinner, that is DJ Phil in the final sector. He's at a moment there. And like I said, not really any overtaking opportunities here at Hungaroring. The obvious one is probably down into turn 1. We'll go on board with Jamie as DJ Phil really chucks across there. And then into turn 1 is probably your best bet of overtaking here. So he goes into turn 1. And you have to get a good exit out of there. And you should be able to have the run down into turn 2. Who else is currently on track? We've got Monkey Boy also out on track. We have a McLaren leaving the garage. That looks like Fury is finally coming out for a lap time. So Fury is finally on his way out, and I know the Fury posse will be here shortly as well. As we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, it's a Ferrari, and it is Big Boy Brazier who's gone off track there. And he is back on track, underway again. Not causing any issues there. When do we see the likes of Mazda, Gary and Goten Duffin all coming out on track? That is the question. But Fury finally deciding to get a lap time under his belt as he goes a little bit wide. We do have another yellow flag. There's an AlphaTauri facing the wrong way, and that is A. Smith. He has dropped it. And he is back underway again. No green pies with me in the chat tonight. No, that's because green pies is on track tonight, Mummy D. So Sutty Apex going through the middle, through sector 1 up to sector 2. He goes now. What's his sector time? Not look like he's up so far. Let's get the lap delta. There we go. So Sutty Apex going into the chicane, into the middle sector now. As Fury's granddad said, yes, we are down. Evening, everybody. Go Fury. And there they are, the Fury posse here supporting their young lad here who's going to be heading to Donington Park with the rest of us as well. With this man as well, his teammate, Sutty Apex, who currently 4/10 up on his fastest right now. And that will put him on pole, if that's correct. He's 4/10 up. So can Sutty Apex take pole position here? He exits the final corner. Normally it'll come up saying purple sectors for me, but it hasn't done so. He exits the final corner. He gets a good drive. And Sutty Apex takes pole position here for McLaren. What a lap time there from Sutty Apex. I was not sure if that was genuine or not. Green pies now. Has he got an answer for Sutty Apex? What a lap from Sutty Apex there. We've got a few guys coming into the final sector now. Who is that? That's DJ Phil coming into the final corner. Can he get a good exit? He's on the medium tyre for some strange reason, but he's out the final corner towards the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. We then have Monkey Boy in the final sector also. He is a 10th up on his best, so he should be able to get a little bit closer to Argent. If he nails the final corner, he should be able to get himself closer to the likes of PM Motorsport. DRS wide open towards the line. He doesn't improve. We have Fury coming to set a lap time. What is his benchmark? He exits the final corner, and it's only 8th place so far for Fury. Only 8, so a bit more time to be found there. A. Smith to the line now. Can he find any improvement? No, he does not. Well, he's starting a lap as he goes down into turn 1. DRS closing shut there, and he goes into turn 1. And looks like we got Bryn coming into the final corner now. Can Bryn get a decent exit here? As Fury's mum's now in the chat, as we do have an AlphaTauri off. That is Monkey Boy currently off, but Bryn towards the line. Does he improve on 5th? No, as Monkey Boy's been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. So hopefully he's only been disqualified for qualifying, so he should be able to race. As Fury's granddad says that he hopes that the luck changes for Fury, and he's crossing his fingers here. As we've got a few people in the chat now, so hello guys, welcome all to the chat. Get your votes in on who you think's going to take the win here, but it's currently Sutty Apex on pole position. As Bryn's had a moment, he's touched that dangerous curb as Green Pies now comes up. Green Pies taking his time on those tyres. I believe he's on the soft tyre this time. He was on the medium. So Green Pies, obviously there's a point for pole position. Bryn staying right out the way of Green Pies there. As Fury starts another lap, he's now moved up to 6th place position. He's found a bit more pace. But currently 2.5 minutes left, and there's no one out on track. Still Gary and Goten Duffin still not set a lap time, nor has Mazda. As we see DJ Phil is coming back out. So Bryn exiting the final corner right onto the back wing of as Fury's had a moment as well. He's had a moment in the chicane, so he's got going once again. But Bryn just sticking to the back of Green Pies. What can Green Pies do here on his flying lap? Still representing that Ukrainian helmet. He said he's going to be running this helmet for the rest of the season. As he drops into the first sector, coming into the first beacon. Is this up? Crosses the line. And he's half a second up already in sector 1. Taking a lot of curb there, a lot of track limits through turn 4 as they go into the chicane now. Green Pies. Can he steal pole position away from Sutty Apex? Through the slow section now. Taking his time, being patient on the throttle. He comes to the end of sector 2. Taking a lot of curb there, and he's 8/10 up. Green Pies coming into the final sector now. This is looking good for pole position for Green Pies. Early on the gears. Into the final corner. Can he take it? Pole position for Alfa Romeo. Towards the line he goes. And he goes pole position by 1.2 seconds. Green Pies on pole, a 16-0. It'd be amazing if anyone can beat that. Bryn improves and goes to 5th place. Who else is currently out on track? Gary has finally got out on track. He's just made it in time to do a lap time here, as there is a slow car going through sector 1. So Gary 131, your 2-time champion in the Porsche 911 for the GT3s, the Leachy Legends, as he goes through sector 1. Doing it for Aston Martin. Matt failing to do a lap time and making a mistake. Can Gary put his Aston Martin a little bit higher than Matt's? That's the question as they go through sector 1 up to sector 2. There's a couple of cars in the way. Gary's purple sector 1. Purple sector 1 for Gary. This is a good lap time. Don't touch that inside curb. He doesn't do so. He's coming up to the chicane. This is a good lap from Gary. A very good lap. Oh, Gary just a little bit wide through there. Can he nail this lap? He was purple sector 1. Can he go purple sector 2? He exits the corner. He is purple sector 2. I wouldn't 100% guarantee that this is a pole lap, because sometimes this game doesn't want to register it. But purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Cars out of his way. Gary 131. One lap magic. A Sebastian Vettel lap. He exits the final corner. Can Gary put this on pole position? Not quite. He's 9/10 off of Green Pies, but nonetheless, what a lap time from Gary 131 to put it in 2nd place position. We're now just waiting for Argent, and he has opted to pit. So it is Green Pies who's on pole position, but Gary 131, the one lap he had put him in 2nd place position. What a lap time from Gary 131. Sati Apex currently in 3rd place with Big Boy Brazier starting in 4th. 5th is A Smith. 6th is Bryn. 7th will be Fury. 8th is PM Motorsport. 9th is Argents. 10th is DJ Phil. Matimovich, your championship leader, starting 11th place. The Mutts Nuts 12th. Go 10 Duffin will start 13th. 14th will be Rabbit Joe, and Mazda will be in 15th place. Monkey Boy should hopefully be able to race, but that is it for qualifying. The Irishman takes pole position, and it is Green Pies on pole position. As we're about to get underway here, guys, get your predictions in on who you think is going to take the race here tonight at the Hungaroring. Green Pies on pole with the Aston Martin of Gary 131 alongside him. He's going to have to do a lot of work to help Matt out. So guys, if you are interested in getting involved, then head over to our Facebook and Discord page. The new sign-up sheets have gone up for the GT3 Championship for the Pro and the Pro-Am. So if you are interested in signing up for that, then head to the Discord and Facebook page, and you can sign up for Season 6 of the Championship. As Smithy says, are we all good? Good weekends. We are, mate. We're doing really well here, and we are about to get underway for some great racing here at the Hungaroring. As we got lovely clear weather, we haven't got any chance of rain, and a Mercedes starting on its own on the grid. So that's a good start. We haven't got a Red Bull in the wall on the way on the formation lap either, so we are about to get underway here for the Hungaroring. We're past the halfway stage of the championship. We had the controversy of Silverstone, and Gary131 took the win there. But here we go. All the drivers have picked their setups. They are ready to go. We are all synced up and ready to get underway here. It is Green Pies who will start on pole position, as Goten Duffin is disqualified already from as majority of the grid are. But we will keep an eye on the second row of Sutty Apex, who's also been disqualified from the session. The Mutts Nuts has left the session, but hopefully he should be able to get back in. His car will be run by an AI, so not a good start already. A lot of cars at the grid already, but it is Green Pies on pole position with Gary131 running alongside on the front rows. Third place will be Sutty Apex, fourth is Big Boy Brazier, fifth is A Smith, sixth is Bryn, seventh will be Fury, eighth will be PN Motorsport, ninth is Argent, 10th is DJ Phil, 11th is Matahimovic, 12th is the Mutts Nuts, 13th is Goten Duffin, 14th is Rabbit Joe. Mazda will start in 15th place and Monkey Boy in 16th place position. I really don't like this overtaking on the formation lap. It's kind of ridiculous, but hey ho. So guys, get your predictions on who you think is going to take the race win tonight. There's 17 currently watching. Get your votes in on who you think is going to take the win here tonight. Is it going to be Green Pies? Is it going to be Gary? Or is it going to be Sutty Apex? Can Matt bring it back from 11th place position? That is the question. Mummy D in the chat saying good luck to you all. Yes, good luck to all the drivers here as they now work their way around the grid. Already some of the cars at the grid ready to go. As the drivers come to the grid now, we are about to get underway here for the Hungarian Grand Prix here at the Hungaroring. As they all line up on the front row here. Green Pies on pole position with Gary131 alongside Matimovic in the middle of the pack, who is going to take the race win here tonight as we sync up here. It's 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're go here at Hungaroring, and it's Green Pies with a decent start. But Gary131 will want to pressurize him as soon as possible. The rest of the pack get underway relatively well. Matt is in the pack somewhere. Matt has not even moved, I don't think. Nope, Matt is still in the mid pack, but we are underway. Sutty Apex go door to door with Bryn. Bryn's had a great start there as he's now up into 3rd place position. Sutty dropping right back. But we are on the way here, and they are flying through the pack right now. There's a Mercedes round. That is Bryn. Or is it Goten Duffin? No, it's Goten Duffin gone round. Mazda just taking his time to get going here as the Mutts Nuts really struggling with his internet. He keeps joining and leaving the session. But we're all relatively clean through a lap 1 as Sutty Apex has moved up. We're having the Big Boy Brazy. He's just dropped down back a little few places. As they all bounce through the chicane there, and Matt is up another place. He is up into 9th place position. He goes wide there, but he's really struggling with those medium tyres. He's trying to clear most of the traffic. We do have a yellow flag. Who is that for? DJ Phil's had a spin. Mazda's now moved up another place. He is on the back of Monkey Boy. So a few short changes, but it is Green Pies who leads the way from Gary131 in 2nd, Bryn up into 3rd, with Sutty in 4th, Brazier in 5th, then it's Fury, then it's Argent, then it's the Mutts Nuts, then it's Matimovic, then it's PM Motorsport, then it's A Smith, Rabbit Joe, Monkey Boy, Mazda, and Goten Duffin has passed DJ Phil for that final few places there. But all drivers are still going as Goten Duffin has retired from the session. How has he done that? He's hit a wall, and Goten Duffin is out of the race, and we got a virtual safety car for his car, and that's going to help out A Smith and DJ Phil, as Bryn has been given a 5-second penalty for contact with Sutty Apex under safety car. So, not the start he would have wanted. But Gary, Mercy getting away cleanly, but Green Pies long into the distance already. 2.7 second gap already. Matimovic currently in 9th place position, working his way up. He's got a few cars to clear first, but the first car he has to clear is the Mutts Nuts of the Williams. As A. Smith has got a drive-through penalty for speeding on the virtual safety car, and we are green here. That is so unlucky there from A. Smith. Bad luck there, and we are green and underway, and Matimovic has got the Mutts Nuts, and his next target is Argent. Argent just in front of him. Can he find a way through? The Red Bull racing car should be very good here, but obviously all these cars are set to default. Fury's gone right round the outside of Bryn there, and Fury is now up into 5th place position. Can the McLaren boys score some points as Bryn has gone wide, and that's allowed Argent and Matt through as they all come through the slow section here as DRS is enabled. Is that Fury into the pits already? Fury's into the pits. That's an early pit stop there. So that gives Argent and Matt an extra place. Matt to the inside. Argent tries to defend, but Matt's going to go right down the inside and up into that 5th place position. But Argent's fighting it back. Both of these on the medium tyre. They have a big wiggle. So does the Mutts Nuts in the background. But it is Matimovic moving up into 5th place position. We move back. Rabbit Joe's made a few places. He's got Monkey Boy, PN Motorsport and Mazda all up a few places here. Mazda trying his best to find any opportunity through, but he gets past the PN Motorsport. Monkey Boy goes very wide through that quick left-hander. It's going to be a moment of time until Monkey Boy is passed by Mazda here. Loads of overtaking already. A little bit of a shock considering we're at the Hungaroring, and normally there's not a lot of overtaking at the Hungaroring, as we are on the rear wing of Monkey Boy, who is looking all over Mazda here. Nicky, come on Furby, send it Verstappen style. As Furby has actually dropped down the order, Nicky, so sadly he's going to have to do a lot of recovery here. So you see Monkey Boy on the attack of Rabbit Joe here as he come into the final few corners. The Green Pies is extending his lead, 3.1 seconds ahead of Gary 131. As actually Big Boy Brazier is the fastest man on track now, 22.0. Big Boy Brazier looking very, very fast here. Doing it for Ferrari and helping out here as Mazda now gets a run on Monkey Boy. Into turn 1 they go, and he brakes a lot later than Monkey Boy. Gets the job done, nearly goes into the back of Rabbit Joe in the Haas, who is trying to attack. Well, I said trying, he was got the DRS, so 2 DRS zones there. The detection point is into the final corner, so Rabbit Joe on his way to try and catch Argent if he possibly can. The Mutts Nuts currently into the pits as well, and exits the pits also, so he has had a tyre change. Let's get the tyre changes up, and it is Matimovic and Argent, the only one still on the medium tyre, everyone else running the softs. As Argent now losing a bit of taste here to Rabbit Joe, Mazda and the Monkey Boy. PN Motorsport not too far behind either. Mazda's the man on the move. Look at him, he's trying to find an opportunity to find past that Haas of Rabbit Joe. It's only a moment of time as Green Pie sets more fastest lap times. Is Big Boy Brazier got any answer for that one? Who is attacking Sutty Apex? No, he doesn't. So at this minute, Green Pies is extending his race lead to Gary 131. Mazda with a great run out the final corner, and DRS underneath him. He goes down into turn 1. And there you go, Mazda now up into 7th place position, easily done. As Rabbit Joe just trying to the sticker back of Mazda. Monkey Boy now looking to try and make a move. Can he find a way past? Not at this stage, he cannot. This is your closest fight on track at the minute. Monkey Boy coming up to the quick left-hander. Can he gain any time on Rabbit Joe? That's the question. Rabbit Joe keeping it relatively clean through there. And we've got to be really cautious of that curb. Do not touch it, because it will send the car around. I don't understand why it does it, but it just does. But all these guys really close to one another. We go on board with Mazda. Sorry, on Argent. As Argent with his rear wing view. Mazda is coming for him as Argent just touches the curb. He hits the wall. He gets a bit of wing damage, I reckon. But that's going to allow Mazda, Rabbit Joe and Monkey Boy all through. As Rabbit Joe goes through, Monkey Boy sits and waits, and he gets the job done. And it looks like Argent has got front wing damage. and he will possibly be into the pits on this lap. We just keep an eye on him. Will he go into the pits? Yes, he is peeling into the pits. That gives PN Motorsport a position as well as he nearly misses the pits. Oh, close stuff there from Arjun. He nearly missing the pit entry there. But Mazda now clear of traffic and is on his way to try and catch the leaders now. Can he do a clever strategy here to outdo the others? As Rabbit Joe now got Monkey Boy breathing down his neck. We go on board with the Mutts Nuts, who is now on the back of Fury. They've jumped Argent in the pits. They're going to look down the inside. No, he thinks better of it and just hangs back a little bit. Jason Plato says that Matt has no talent. As there is a yellow flag. That is for PM Motorsport. He's had a spin. But we go back to this fight between Fury and the Mutts Nuts. This is hotting up here, but also we'll go back and have a look at the Big Boy Brazier and Sutty Apex. Actually, we'll go to them. They're coming up to a DRS zone, and Jamie has just been bringing that gap down slowly to Sutty. There's a good little scrap here. Jason Player. Matt on the medium tyre, currently just sticking to the back of these guys, as Matt has a wiggle on exit there. But Jamie with the DRS, he'll get closer, but he's not quite close enough to the back of Sutty Apex. Sutty running very, very wide there. DRS wide open for Jamie. Can he find a move down the inside of Sutty? No, he cannot. You'll have to wait a little bit longer. We return back to the fight between Fury and the Mutts Nuts. This is a close fight between these two. The Mutts Nuts will have the oh, he drops it! Too much curb, and the Mutts Nuts is into the wall. Who's coming around the corner? It should be Argent. He'll just be able to avoid it. Argent on the hard tyre. So he's looking to try and go to the very end of this race. But we know that the hard tyre doesn't have a lot of performance. Let's go back to Rabbit Joe. Monkey Boy are relatively close, but it looks like Jamie Brazier, is right onto the back of Sutty Apex. Ferrari versus McLaren. Can Jamie find a way through? Sutty closes the door as we see Matt going very wide in the background. That's a lot of track limits there, Matt. But Jamie right onto the rear of Sutty Apex. Good exit here from Jamie. Should be able to give him the DRS to turn one. He's got a good run here. Sutty, it's got quite good top speed here, and Jamie's not able to do anything to him. Has to wait a little bit longer here. So Jamie obviously seems to be running a higher downforce setup, while Sutty's running a more lower downforce setup. So far, Sutty is able to stay ahead of Jamie. Gary has extended his gap between these two by 3.4 seconds, so he hasn't got to worry about them too much. And all the positions have equalizers. A. Smith is now looking to make a move on DJ Phil. He gets really close to DJ Phil. DJ Phil squeezing AlphaTauri versus Red Bull here. And at the minute, the AlphaTauri is looking a lot faster than the Red Bull of DJ Phil. Can he find a way through as they go through the final corner? No, he cannot. DJ Phil will stay in front a little bit longer. We go back to this fight. Jamie, this is where he's a lot stronger than Sutty Apex as they go through the fast right-hander. Sutty trying everything he can to keep that Ferrari behind. And he's doing a great job of that. And as you just see there, Jamie Brazier just going a little bit wide, missing his braking a little bit. Probably trying so hard to catch on to the back of Sutty Apex. These cars now, the older cars are much difficult to follow, especially in the dirty air, opposed to the older cars where it was a lot easier to follow one another. So Jamie is now onto the back of Sutty Apex and still can't find a way through. I believe that's the Kimi Raikkonen helmet he's running. Emperor, will Matt face the same fate as Andy? Question mark. Who knows? Who knows? As we are only halfway through the season, and Jamie now really starting to pressurize Sutty. We're just keeping an eye on the lap times just to see who's close, but this is your closest fight. Look how much Big Boy Brazier is able to just stick to the back of Sutty Apex through the middle sector. That Ferrari is hooked up through here. Sutty's a little bit more sketchy through the slow sections, which Sutty, struggling with tyre wear, will allow Matt to get a little bit closer to the back of these two. Jamie wants to clear Sutty as quickly as he possibly can, because he knows Matt is coming and is on the medium tyre. He can go much longer. Green Pies needs to score some. He needs to win every race so far so that he can keep the fight going, as Jamie opts to pit early. So overly the undercut is what he's going for. But Sutty now has got Matt Imovic behind him. Aston Martin in front of him and an Aston Martin behind him. Matt with the DRS is looking to try and make a move on Sutty. Sutty holds his line and defends for turn 1 and will stay ahead of Matt. As now Mazda, Rabbit Joe and Monkey Boy's into the pits as well, so he's opted to pit as well. So it seems like the tyre wear here on the soft tyres aren't very good. Lap 9 is when most of the other drivers are pitting in. Jamie, I think, is going for an undercut as PM Motorsport comes out, comes behind his teammate as Jamie has done his pit stop. Fury now moves up to 9th. Big Monkey Boy really dropping down the order. He drops behind the Mutts Nuts. Will he lose out to Argent? That's the question. Will we go back to this fight? We got a yellow flag in Sector 3, so you will not be able to overtake in Sector 3. That was DJ Phil. He had a moment in Sector 3. But Sutty, Matt, this is your fight that we're going to keep an eye on. We'll drop to Bryn and a Monkey Boy in a moment in time because they're quite close on circuit as well. But Sutty Apex knows that Aston Martin will be a lot faster than the Ferrari of Jamie. But Sutty is such a difficult person to overtake, not just in a McLaren F1 car, but in a McLaren GT3 as well. And Matt will have to learn this very, very quickly as he goes to the pro. He'll have to learn that Sutty Apex is one of the trickiest people to overtake. And down the back straight, DRS will help him. What does Sutty do? Will he defend the inside? No, he doesn't. He sticks to his line. Sutty sticks to his racing line and carries on. He gets to try and gets the undercut on Matt, but Matt gets the DRS and Sutty drops now to 4th place position. Made that a little bit too easy for him there. As now PM Motorsport has come into the pits. So let's move back to the Monkey Boy and Argent fight. Look at these two. Argent on the hard tyre. He's going to be struggling with grip, but he will be able to go much, much longer as the AlphaTauri gets the slipstream. As they go down into turn 1 and Monkey Boy is up another place. Argent, I think, is just trying to test his setup here and try and go as long as he possibly can on the hard tyres without having to pit. DJ Phil back into the pits once again, but it is Green Pie who exits the corner of lap 11, starting at lap 12. Gone so smoothly, and already 10 laps or 12 laps in, we've still got 15 cars. So that's good to see. Gary131 is into the pits. He is opting to pit early, and that allows Matt through and Sutty. So Gary into the pits. Let's see how quick this pit stop will be for Gary. Into the pits. Swap to the medium tyre, and away he goes. A very good stop there. Where is Jamie? He's in the final corner, so Jamie's had a decent run here. Jamie, the fastest lap of the race, he's going to jump Gary131. Yes, he has. So Jamie opting to go onto the soft tyre. He's now committed to a 2-stop for sure. Has jumped Gary131. So brilliant lap times there from Jamie. And he is now up into 6th place, but is a net 2nd place. So he's not just jumped Sutty and Matt, he'll jump Gary131. And what a stop there from Jamie. Brilliant stuff from him. Wow, so we got going on this Fury versus the Mutts Nuts. The Mutts Nuts now onto the back of the McLaren. Williams versus McLaren. Two iconic British teams going at it on track, and it is Fury currently still in front of the Mutts Nuts as the Mutts Nuts touches the curb and he runs wide. That's lost him a huge amount of time. So now PN Motorsport onto the back of Bryn. There's fights going on up and down the grid as Jamie now also onto the back of Rabbit Joe. He'll want to clear him as quickly as possible, but PM Motorsport with a new Ferrari teammate of Big Boy Brazier is really helping him out here. And it's looking good for a second place as Rabbit Joe drops down the order because of the DRS zone. He's lost out to Jamie and he's lost out to Gary. So Rabbit Joe dropping down the order there. Fury and the Mutsnut still going at it. 2/10 separates these two. Both on similar old tyres. As he exits the final corner. Fury defends the inside. The Mutsnuts has to go outside. He'll want to try and get a better run out the corner. Fury makes the apex and gets a good exit as well. The Mutsnuts dropping the rear a little bit. He gets DRS. Is he able to find a way past on Fury? No, he can't. But Fury's gone deep. He's gone very deep. And that's allowed the Mutsnuts through. And the Mutsnuts now up into 8th place position. A great move from here. Outsmarting Fury a little bit there. And Fury losing a position there. We go back to PM Motorsport versus Bryn. PM Motorsport on the outside. Can't find a way through on Bryn there. Bryn trying his utmost best to keep the Ferrari behind him. As Sutty Apex has come into the pits. As Jamie's caught loads of time on Sutty Apex there. If we actually go to the leaders now, there is Mazda. He's staying up into 3rd place right now. He's going as long as he possibly can on these set of tyres. He's now lapped DJ Phil. So Big Boy Brazier goes into turn 1 in 4th place. Gary in 5th. Sutty Apex only now exiting the pit. So Jamie has made an absolute blinder in the strategy and has allowed him to jump ahead of Gary and Sutty. He'll be hunting down a Mazda now. But Green Pie still leads this race by 14.9 seconds ahead of Matahimovic. Both of these guys still yet to pit. PM Motorsport looking to try and make a move on Bryn down into turn 1. The Ferraris just don't seem to have the top speed, but PM's going for it. He's sending it into turn 1 and he doesn't quite get the job done. Bryn runs a little bit wide, has a little bit of snap and exit there. And PM Motorsport still no opportunity to find a way past on Bryn. The Mercedes doing a good job of keeping behind him. Oh, PM Motorsport running a little bit wide there. Touches the grass and he loses time on Bryn there. He's just out of the DRS zone now. So on lap 15, it's Green Pies who leads the way. From 2nd place is Matahimovic. 3rd place is Mazda right now, who's still yet to pit. Top 3 still yet to pit. Jamie Brazier coming in 4th place position and absolutely flying at the minute. Can he find a way past Mazda? That is the question. 5th place is currently Gary 131. 6th is Sutty Apex. 7th into the pits is Rabbit Joe. Is he going to stay ahead of the Mutsnuts? No. The Mutsnuts comes out, so he moves up to 7th. 8th is Rabbit Joe. Fury in 9th and Monkey Boy in 10th place position. That's your top 10. 11th is Argent. 12th is PM Motorsport and Bryn going at it, but PM Motorsport looks like he's got the run now, as there's a yellow flag in sector 2. That's Big Boy Brazier. He's dropped it while his teammate has now moved up to 12th place position. 14th is A Smith and 15th is DJ Phil. So all that hard work that Jamie had done has lost out after one little mistake. We do have another yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? It's Rabbit Joe. He's had a spin. He's probably touched that dangerous curb and has gone round. So Rabbit Joe now drops down to 10th place position after taking his pit stop. As Mazda now comes into the pits, that's allowed Gary through. That will allow Jamie through. Jamie's into the pits. He's probably got damage then to his front wing. So all that hard work that Jamie's done has just become undone. So that allows Sutty through. Mazda will stay ahead of Jamie as well. So Mazda playing a good strategy here. As the Mutsnuts goes down the main straight, that's going to allow Big Boy Brazier to drop right down. He's at 9th place position. 10th place is Rabbit Joe. Is he going to get him just before turn 1? Not quite. So Jamie comes back out in 9th place position. Monkey Boy looking to make a move on Fury. McLaren versus AlphaTauri. Can he find a way through? At the minute, they're battling it out for 7th and 8th place position. Monkey Boy trying to find any opportunity to find a way past that McLaren. They can't seem to do so far. So Fury doing a fantastic job of staying in front of Monkey Boy. But they go into the slow section. We are on to the helicopter cam here. And Monkey Boy trying anything and everything to find a way past Fury. And try and pressurize him into making a mistake. 4/10 separating these two. The closest fight on track. As Monkey Boy runs very, very wide. Both on similar strategies. Both on soft tyres. But Fury's tyres are much, much older. While Monkey Boy's are a lot more fresher. That's why he's got the extra pace. As we see there, there's a Williams going into the pits. That is the Mutts Nuts. He gets his pit stop done, as does Fury. So that's freed the Monkey Boy up now to go on his way and try and extend the gap between these two. Big Boy Brazier goes through as well. Fury's pit stop. Let's see how good this is. He's into the pits. Soft tyre on, medium tyre on. And the McLaren are underway here. Do they jump the Mutts Nuts? As the Mutts Nuts just exits the pits ahead of Fury. They now drop to 11th, 12th and 13th. Also into the pits is Bryn. He's in for a front wing. That's not good for him, as PN Motorsport now onto the back of Argent. He's been slowly creeping his way up. Argent on those hard tyres just doesn't seem to have any performance whatsoever here. So PN Motorsport with his fresh medium tyres, soft tyres, can he make any headway on him? As we got a yellow flag in the final sector. DJ Phil has put it in the wall. We got a safety car. We have a full-blown safety car, as DJ Phil is now out of this race. And there he is. There is the stricken Red Bull. As Monkey Boy and Big Boy Brazy go through. As Sutty into the pits immediately, as Argent gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car conditions. So Sutty into the pits. Does he need a front wing? Is this why he's in? Yes, he does. So Sutty with a free pit stop as such. He puts the medium tyres back on, but he should be able to stay ahead of the rest of the guys. Monkey Boy is in the final corner. I think Monkey Boy and Jamie should be able to jump Sutty here. Where is Sutty? He's just gone on to pit exit there. So Sutty, losing the front wing, has dropped himself right down the order. This is going to help Matt out a little bit. Will help Matt and Green Pies. Green Pies into the pits. So a free pit stop here for Green Pies, as everyone will now have to match the safety car speed. Does Matt come into the pits? No, Matt opts to stay out. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but Green Pies will exit. Will Green Pies stay ahead? No, Matimovic takes the lead of the race, but he is on much, much older tyres. I don't know if that was the right call from Matt. At least put a set of fresh mediums on or something to attack Green Pies with, but Green Pies in second place now. You can see his rival in front of him. But I honestly don't know if that was the right decision. And the reason we've had a safety car is DJ Phil has dropped it and is retired from the race. So this should be interesting. Mazda's helped out a little bit here thanks to the pit stops. He'll be able to catch onto the back of the leaders. And he's got relatively fresh tyres as well. Also help Sutty Apex with his front wing damage. Possibly the contact between him and DJ Phil maybe what's caused this. So I don't know, we need to find out more information about it. But as it stands, Matt leads this race, but he's still yet to pit. With Green Pies in second place position. Third is Gary 131. Fourth is Mazda. Fifth place is Monkey Boy. Sixth is Jamie Brazier, Big Boy Brazier. Seventh is Sutty Apex. Eighth is Rabbit Joe. Ninth is the Mutts Nuts and Fury in 10th place position. Argent currently in 11th. 12th is PN Motorsport. 13th is A. Smith, and 14th place is Bryn. All these guys are all caught up in the queue, and sadly they will not be able to unlap themselves. So guys, while we're in this quiet stage, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The current Simplay GT3 Championship has come to an end. Your champions for this season is Matt Imovic and Sweet and Sour Motorsport for the teams and drivers championship in Pro-Am, and for the Pro Championship, Unorthodox 16 and Shake and Bake Motorsport are your team and drivers championships. So congratulations to all those guys. And if you do want to get involved in the GT3s for next season, then head over to our Facebook and Discord page to sign up for the new season. We will be back in a month's time at Sakito for round 1 of this championship, aka Suzuka. So get yourself signed up and ready for the season. Also, there are still places available here in the F1 Championship if you still want to race the F1. The seats at Haas, Alfa Romeo, Alpine. Drivers are coming and going all the time, so feel free to message myself or Matt Imovic if you want to sign up for F1 as well, as we still got a few rounds left of the season. Also, the World Endurance Championship will return in a couple of weeks time as we head to Spa for the 6 hours of Spa. We've just done Spa in GT3s, and we will head into Spa as well in the F1. So we will also be heading to the World Endurance Championship. And if anybody are around on the 23rd of April, majority of us at Simplay Motorsport will be at Donington Park to watch the British Touring Car Championship. We'll have a banner up, we'll have all sorts up. Come and say hello to all the drivers, come and say hello to most of us. We're having a good time, so make sure you pop over and say hello, get involved and see everybody at the track. But nonetheless, we have to focus on the F1 Championship. This is where it's all at. It's Green Pies versus Matt Imovic for this title so far. Gary 131 still also with a very good chance of taking points away. Only 3 drivers this season have taken a win. That is Matt Imovic, Green Pies and Gary 131. We're just waiting for the rest of the cars to back up as the safety car is in this lap. That's very late call there from the safety car as Matt backs the pack up. Green Pies will want to get the jump. He'll want to do Max Verstappen and get right onto the back of him as they're about to get underway. They're into the final corner. Matt versus Green Pies. Green Pies really wants to get this restart underway as they go into the final corner now. Green Pies rearing to go, and he has gone. Matt has made a terrible go at that restart as Rabbit Joe straight into the pits as Green Pies is going down to turn 1. He's got the run on Matt Imovic into turn 1, and Green Pies in one corner already takes the lead back as Gary 131 has got a little bit of trouble from Mazda. He's also trying to clear traffic as Bryn's right in the way. We've got all sorts going on behind. There's Monkey Boy, Jamie Brazier, all battling it out there just for those few places. Cold tyres, everyone's trying to get up to speed. All the cars are wiggling and shaking. Big Boy Brazier trying to stick it on the outside. Can he get the job done into the quick left-hander on Monkey Boy? No! Monkey Boy stays ahead. Some great racing here as we get back underway here. As Bryn there makes a mistake. That's allowed a few more cars, but Bryn's in the wall. Sati Apex has put Bryn in the wall as Bryn gets a penalty for ignoring blue flags for some reason. Bryn's got hefty damage to the front of his Mercedes there, so he's dropping right down the order. And Fury and Rabbit Joe both pitting obviously in those earlier laps. So Matt with really old tyres here. Matt with old tyres here, really struggling to stick with Green Pies, but this is going to allow the guys with fresher tyres to catch Matt up. All these guys on a different strategy to Matt, and they can go much longer. Monkey Boy and Sutty, Big Boy Brazier, he's got so much downforce on that Ferrari. That's going to allow him to be very vulnerable down the back straight, and that's allowed Monkey Boy to go down the inside. He missed his braking, and Jamie gets it turned in. Now Sutty has a go at Monkey Boy. Sutty on the APET, on the outside. Can he get the job done? Yes, he can. As Argent's now also involved. He's put the medium tyre on after he's finally ditched the hard tyre and found that it wasn't working for him. Bryn into the pits. Fury back into the pits as well. So something not going right for Fury this race as he keeps dropping down the order. He lost another front wing by the looks of things as Bryn gets underway. Yes, another front wing gone at McLaren. But Green Pies leads this race. Second is Matt. Third is Gary 131. Fourth is Mazda. Fifth is Big Boy Brazier. Sutty 6th. Monkey Boy 7th. 8th is Argent. 9th is the Mutt Nuts. 10th is PN Motorsport. 11th is Rabbit Joe. Fury in 12th place position. A Smith currently 13th, and Bryn bringing up the rear. We've lost 2 drivers this race. We have lost DJ Phil and Goten Duffin from this race here tonight. As Green Pie sets the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyre. He's extending his gap. Argent into the pits as he got front wing damage. Possibly so, a bit early considering he's only just put those medium tyres on. No, he's serving his drive-through here. So Argent's serving his drive-through. But Jamie is the man on the move. He's trying to catch on to the back of Mazda. Into the quick left-hander they go. Mazda just in front. And Jamie just behind. Look at the Ferrari. So much better in the middle sector here. But Jamie needs to keep it clean, needs to keep it consistent. Doesn't need to make any more mistakes here. It's a great shot here. I'm glad we can do this with F1. At Jamie on the rear wing of Mazda. He's just in the DRS zone, but I think DRS is enabled, so these guys can start using their DRS to attack. But Jamie goes a little bit deep there. Jamie seems to be really liking those soft tyres. The only man really who hasn't touched any of the other tyres. As he exits the final corner, Jamie does have DRS. Monkey Boy is into the pits, but it's not enough. So much downforce on that car, and it's not able to get to the back of the other cars. As Mazda goes into turn 1, still ahead of Jamie Brazier. Green Pie is really trying to extend his championship fight here to Matt. Can he take the fight to him, gain a few more points? He really does need Matt to be in a lot of trouble, as Gary's now starting to catch these two, but he's still got this fight. Also, Rabbit Joe and Kieran Argent are very close to one another. Rabbit Joe seems to just slowly be getting the hang of this championship as each race goes by. We need to drop back to Mazda and Jamie, because Jamie's literally right on the back of Mazda here. The soft tyres are helping Jamie right now, but he's unable to find a way past. Big Boy Brazier, can he get a better exit out the final corner? Mazda in 4th place seems to have speed than the Ferrari. Sutty Apex in the McLaren, not too far away from these two either. But Mazda, look, even with DRS, he's extending the gap. So there's not really much Jamie can do at this stage. As Gary seems to have a bit of a bad lap there. He has lost touch with the leaders. We go through into the middle sector now. Matimovic trying to stick to the back of Green Pies, but Gary 1-1 also trying to stick to his teammate, just bounces over the curb a little bit. We have a yellow flag in the final sector. Bryn has retired from the race. We get a virtual safety car, so that neutralizes the race so that we can get rid of that car, as Fury's in the final corner as well. As Bryn has left the session, so Mercedes will not score any points here tonight. We are under virtual safety car here, so no overtaking. Sutty, Jamie, all these guys are relatively close, but it's all being held up by Mazda, with him starting at the back of the grid as well. He's played a great strategy here. Jamie going for a cheap pit stop once again, but is it going to work out? As when does this virtual safety car end? And the virtual safety car has come to an end. So that hasn't really worked out for Jamie. He's in the pits, just as everyone gets going again, and he's lost out quite a bit there. So Jamie back underway. The Mutsnuts also into the pits. Does he have a front wing change? No, he just opts to go to the soft tyre. He's going to lose out to Monkey Boy possibly. No, with the Williams pit crew being at the bottom, they're going to be tight into turn one. The Mutsnuts is going to try and hang it in there. They make contact, and the Mutsnuts muscles his way through and holds on to that final point position there. AlphaTauri not having their best run here. So now Sutty is going to put some pressure onto the back of Mazda. Oh, Sutty with a beautiful slide there. He just keeps it together. But wow, what a slide there from Sutty Apex. Just keeping it under control there. So down the back straight, Sutty Apex onto the back of Mazda. Seems like Sutty has a bit more straight line speed than the Mazda. So can the McLaren find a way past the Alpine right now? Another DRS zone. So Mazda trying to hang in there in fourth place position. Fifth is Sutty Apex. Sutty trying to find any opportunity, waiting for Mazda to crack, but it's very unlikely. Mazda's a very good defender and can take the pressure. Sutty trying everything in his McLaren to try and find a way past that Alpine. As Gary zooms his way past. There's other great fights on track as well. We got Rabbit Joe still trying to find a way past on Kieran Argent, who's gone very wide in the quick left-hander there. Come into the chicane, bouncing over the curb goes Rabbit Joe. Can he find a way through? Not as yet. Sutty is now coming into the final sector here. Green Pies goes even faster. So Mazda exits the final corner. Can he keep the gap between him and Sutty? Sutty seems to have better straight line speed. Here comes Sutty Apex, DRS wide open. He had a messy final corner, and that's going to keep Mazda ahead. So Mazda still hanging in there with those tyres. But both of these guys on the medium tyres, sorry. So it's kind of even Stevens right now, but it seems like Sutty Apex has gone for a more aggressive downforce setup where he's a little bit faster in the straights. We move back to Rabbit Joe and Argent, who have got 3 tenths separating these two. But Jamie's just ahead of these guys. But he's also behind his teammate. Jamie now onto the medium tyre. He's hoping that he can jump a few people, as pitting earlier will help him clear some of the traffic. Fury now is about to get lapped by Green Pies. And Matt currently still no answer to Green Pies right now, nor has Gary. Mazda currently in 4th place, but he has got Sutty Apex starting to breathe down his neck. It's getting closer and closer each time, but he keeps messing up the final few corners. That's just giving Mazda the drive that he needs to get away. So Sutty exits the final corner. Does he have a better run? No, he still has a little bit of a twitch. He has DRS though. Can he get Mazda? Sutty looks to the inside. He was thinking of a Sutty send it, but he thought better of it. He needs a good exit through this corner, which he does. He gets the DRS open. So, is he going to send it into turn 2? No. So he hangs on a little bit longer. As what's happened here? With a few guys off. That's Fury off. He's had a spin. But Rabbit Joe down the inside of Kieran Argent. He looks like he's got the job done. But Rabbit Joe, a little wiggle. Argent sticks to the outside. So Argent just hangs in there. Rabbit Joe looking for any opportunity to find a way past Argent. Argent runs a little bit wide there. And we got another yellow flag. That is Fury in the middle sector. Gone again. He's had a mistake. So Rabbit Joe still trying to find a way past Argent, but he won't be able to do so in the middle sector because it's yellow flags. Fury, the yellow flags are cleared, so Fury is on his way. Rabbit Joe still on the back of the Red Bull Honda. Can he find a way through here? He gets a good run through the chicane. Decent job there. Argent really trying to hang into their position there, but he looks like he's just losing a bit of pace here. The Mutt's Nuts is now involved in this. Sati is much closer to Mazda this time. He exits the final corner. DRS for Sati Apex. Is he going to get the job done? No, he's too far back once again. So Argent, Rabbit Joe and the Mutt's Nuts. This is going to be interesting into turn one. 3 cars. Monkey Boy is trying to get onto the back of him as well. Fury back into the pits once again. And A. Smith is now going to pass him. Rabbit Joe running very wide there. And that's going to allow the Mutt's Nuts to have a run at Rabbit Joe. He gets the job done and passes him into turn one. The soft tyre for the Mutt's Nuts is much quicker on his car than it is Rabbit Joe's, and he is ahead of him now. What can he do about Argent? That is the question. Obviously such a short lap here, so a lot of laps here for these guys to clear. Come up into the middle sector now. Argent still holding his best out there. Mutt's Nuts seems to have a much better go at this than Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe is just in the background watching as he goes very wide there in the final corner. The Mutt's Nuts with DRS is onto Argent. And there he goes, so easy down into turn one. Is he got the job done though? As the Mutt's Nuts will just hold him out there. And that is it. The Mutt's Nuts is up into another position there. Rabbit Joe just close behind as well. Can he find a way past? Not at this stage. So Rabbit Joe is still stuck behind Argent while the Mutt's Nuts has cleared them and is on his way. Sati Apex still hasn't done anything about Mazda. And Fury's into the pits once again. I'm not sure how many times Fury is pitted, but he's pitted quite a lot now. So let's have a look at the tyre information right now. Matt has done 31 laps on his mediums. He'll have to start thinking about pitting soon as Fury comes back out on track right in front of Matt actually and gets right out the way. And once again Mazda's still got that advantage over Sati Apex. Now this way, Jamie is actually starting to catch these two up again, but he will be on a different strategy. We have a yellow flag in sector 2, and once again I think that is Fury off. Fury is off. He's lost the front wing. And he can't get back on track. Fury really struggling out there tonight. This track has not really helped him whatsoever. So right now we're kind of in a quiet zone where not really much is going on. Sati and Mazda are really the closest fight on track. As Rabbit Joe just seems to have lost a little bit of time. Seems to have lost a little bit of time to Argent, so he's not able to stick to him. Your leaders are still going around pumping in lap times. Fury's now finally got going as he's let the whole entire pack through. We're slowly coming up to the midpoint of the race. 33 laps so far done and completed. A 70 lap race here. Can Fury breaks Gary's record? Looks like he's trying for most pit stops. Let's have a look at the pit stops. So Fury's done 6 pit stops this race. He really is trying his best to break that record, and I think he'll be having a pit number 7. He exits the second sector, and I think with the front wing damage he'll be in the pits again. So a race that Fury would want to forget. A. Smith not really having the best rounds either, nor is PM Motorsport. All these guys just a bit out of luck, as Monkey Boy still in the points at the minute, but he was a lot higher up than that earlier. As Fury back into the pits once again, as we have got a yellow flag in the final sector, and as Fury, he's out of this race. So Fury is done for this one. I don't know how Fury's done that, but he's in the pits and he's coming back out somehow. Like, his car has come back out on track, but there's no Fury on the track. I'm not sure how that's worked. So Fury's car comes out and it's under AI, I think. So Fury's car driven by the AI, and it's coming to a stop there by the looks of things. Yep, it's gone. So Fury's car is out of this race. Poor Fury is done for the night. We've still got this fight between Sutty Apex and Mazda. Really the only two on track that we need to keep an eye on, but Monkey Boy is caught to Rabbit Joe. So I think Rabbit Joe possibly has made a mistake somewhere, as A. Smith is now out of this race. What is going on here? So A. Smith comes out on track. I'm not sure what's going on here. Whoever seems to be pitting seems to be out of this race. A. Smith's car there. Whoa, Gary has a moment there and just realizes that A. Smith's car isn't working. I'm not understanding what's going on here. That's two cars that have pitted and have both gone out. Is anyone else opting to pit? Not at this stage. As PM Motorsport carries on at this rate, we're still going to get 11 cars to finish. We're at the halfway stage, lap 35 of 70. And we have a car off. It's Gary 131. That's Mazda and Sutty going through. So now these two have moved up into third and fourth place. Podium fight is between these three now. Gary 131 pushing a little bit too hard and has made the mistake. So Gary 131 making a mistake. As Fury's granddad says, bad luck Fury, just not your night. So Fury can go off and chill and do whatever else he wants to do. But we also look back, Monkey Boy has caught onto the back of Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe seems to be struggling on those soft tyres. Oh, Rabbit Joe gets a little bit loose there in the middle sector, just in the dirty air. As Sutty Apex 3/10 behind Mazda, which Gary's not going to be too far away from these guys either. So Sutty Apex still trying to find a way past Mazda, but he can't seem to do so. He's going to run out of patience in a minute. Now, Rabbit Joe is into the pits. This should be interesting to see. Will he get out of this race? We're staying on board with him. He goes into his pit box. No, so there's no issues with the pits. I think A. Smith and Fury have just crashed into the pits somehow. I'm not sure how. Possibly very easy to do so into the final sector of it. So as Green Pies still leads this race, 14.1 seconds ahead of Matahimovic. And with Gary's little spin, that's allowed Matt to move up into second place, who has done 36 laps on these medium tyres. 36 laps, that's impressive from Matt. But is it done enough? Is he able to jump these guys, or will he stay behind these three? Mazda going as long as he possibly can as well on those tyres. A. Smith has left the session there. So Sutty Apex Can he find a way past Mazda, or has he just got to sit behind that Alpine for the rest of his night? This is what I mean, we're about here at Hungaroring, you just can't find a way to overtake. And Sutty's trying his absolute hardest to do so. But so far, nowhere where he can find a way through. Over towards the chicane, bouncing over the chicane, Sutty, and Mazda goes. As Gary seems to stay a little bit closer, further away from the curve, so he doesn't want to touch them after his little spin. So Sutty just needs to stick to the back of that Alpine and try and get a good exit. Matt, after 37 laps on those mediums, is finally into the pits. Sutty exits the final corner, runs a little bit wide. DRS wide open. Matt is going to get jumped by these three. So Sutty, is he close enough to Mazda? No. Is Matt going to get jumped by Jamie here? Yes, it's the final corner. Big boy Brazier goes up into 5th place position. So Matt is now on the soft tyre. Can he get to the end on those softs? That is the question. Jamie is closing very quick on the guys in front. Excuse me. Jamie, can he find a way a bit closer to Gary 131, Sutty Apex and Mazda? That is the question. Jamie should be able to go quite a distance on those medium tyres, but he's got Matt breathing down his neck very, very shortly. And Matt with the soft tyre as well. He doesn't want to be burning them up straight away, because if he wants to try and get to the end of the race on them, he's got a long way to go. Mazda still ahead of Sutty, who's ahead of Gary. And then 5 seconds back is this fight. Jamie versus Matt. Matt coming into the final corner. He should have DRS. And with the setup they're running, Jamie will be a sitting duck in a straight line. Sector 2. Rabbit Joe's gone off. So Jamie not even choosing to fight Matt right now. Allows him through. But he gets a better run out the corner. Matt with the DRS. Much faster in a straight line. And is able to stay ahead of Jamie going into turn 2. As Rabbit Joe still struggling to get going here. Really struggling to get going. He's about to get caught by this fight going on. He'll have to make sure he's right out of the way. Mazda will be absolutely hating this, knowing that there's a slow car on track. As Rabbit Joe drops it again. As does Sutty Apex. He's had a moment as well. He's dropped it in the hairpin. The chicane, sorry. And now he's lost out. There's Rabbit Joe. Has Sutty Apex got damage to the front wing? I believe so. Yeah, he's got damage to the front wing there. So Sutty is losing out there. Matt setting fastest lap of the race now with clean air. But how much of the life out the tyres is he going to take? He needs to make 31 laps out of those soft tyres. He's already burnt 1 lap out of them. Mazda probably going a lot longer here so that he can get his set of softs to the end. Or is Mazda going to try and go to the end? That's the question. Mazda's been doing a great job of holding Sutty up. Now he's got a new challenger of Gary 131 catching up, but he's not able to do anything about it. So Gary now under pressure from his teammate. I think Gary's not really going to fight Matt here, as we got another yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? That is PM Motorsport. He's at a spin now. So Gary is allowing his teammate through into turn 1. Matt is on the move with those soft tyres. But my only worry is if this is final set, he doesn't want to be burning them out that quickly. It's been relatively easy passing cars so far. Jamie and Gary both get out of the way. Mazda will be a different story, I reckon. As the Mutt Nuts is into the pits for another set of mediums. And away he goes. There's a car off. It's Gary 131. He's off. Jamie goes through. So Gary's had a spin. Mazda now under huge pressure from Matt. How patient is Matt going to be? Is he going to keep hustling the back of that Alpine? Mazda's defending like crazy though. He knows that he wants to keep that Aston Martin behind him. He is his main fight at the minute. So Matt is trying everything. He's going right round the outside with those softer tyres. He's unable to do so. Mazda is defending like crazy. Matt has actually hit Mazda. They exit the final corner. Mazda with the DRS about to get mugged by Matt by the looks of things. Matt has to go outside. Mazda to the inside. Argent's had a spin as well, but Mazda hangs in there. He's going to push Matt wide. No, Matt gets the better drive and up into second place he goes. Mazda, there's nothing he can do at this stage, and that is it. Matt is up into second place position. Mazda put up a great fight there, but that is all he could do. So now Matt on his way to try and catch Green Pies, but Green Pies is halfway around the track and is just cruising at the minute on his medium tyres. He knows he can look after them and get towards the end of the race. Mazda now dropping to 3rd. Big Boy Brazier now up into 4th place position. Gary dropping to 5th. 6th is Monkey Boy. 7th is the Mutts Nuts. 8th is Argent. 9th is Sutty Apex. And 10th is PN Motorsport. 11th is Rabbit Joe, but anything can still happen. Rabbit Joe can still score some good points. It's now Sutty Apex is now looking to attack the Red Bull of Kieran Argent. Guys, if you haven't done so, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. And also, if you want to be a part of the GT3 Championship next season for Pro-Am and Pro, then head over to our Facebook and Discord page and get yourself signed up for the new season. Season starts in a month's time, as we'll be heading to Suzuka, Japan, Sekito as it's called on Project Cars 2 for the first round of the season. But right now we are currently watching the F1 guys going at it. Sutty Apex looking to try to make a move on the Red Bull of Argent. They exit the final corner. Sutty should have a better drive, better exit. The Williams of the Mutts Nuts defending the inside there, but Sutty goes down the inside and with the more superior straight line speed with the DRS moves up into 8th place position and on his way to recovering his race. DRS wide open once again and towards turn 2. Sutty Apex should have that job under his belt. As we have a yellow flag in sector 2. Monkey Boy looked like he had a moment going into that slow hairpin, but he looks like he's managed to get it going just before these guys have caught him. So a 4-way fight could possibly be on the way here. As Big Boy Brazier is starting to bring the gap down to Mazda. He did so earlier on, but Mazda hasn't done a pit stop while Jamie has. The Mutts Nuts has passed Monkey Boy, so Monkey Boy had another moment. So the Mutts Nuts is now up into 6th place position. Can Sutty now get Monkey Boy? Oh, Sutty goes wide. He just gets it together. As Monkey Boy is into the pits, he's probably got front wing damage. That's why he's struggling. So Sutty now up into another position, 7th, and Argent moves up to 8th place position. Monkey Boy will drop down. Where's PN Motorsport? He's quite a bit away off the back of Monkey Boy, so Monkey Boy should be okay. But right now, Green Pies is doing everything right. He leads this race. He's led this race from start and is on his way. He's lost the lead momentarily from Matt under the safety car, but he passed him straight away to retake the lead of this race. Second place is Matt. Asati's had a moment. He's got it going again. He's touched that curb and he has gone round. So your Matt is in second place position. We got a yellow flag in sector 2 now. Sector 3. Who is that for? That's PN Motorsport getting out of the way of Jamie by the looks of things. So he lets his teammate through. Right, let me finish doing this running order. Matt is second place. Third is Mazda. Fourth is Big Boy Brazier. Fifth is Gary 131. Sixth is the Mutts Nuts. Seventh is Argent. Eighth is Sutty Apex. Ninth is Monkey Boy. 10th is PN Motorsport. And bringing up the rear is Rabbit Joe, currently going around and circulating some good points. Not points yet, sorry, because he's just out of the points paying position. So now, Big Boy Brazier brought the gap down to the Alpine of Mazda. Mazda still ahead of him right now. But that gap has been coming down slowly. And Jamie is now regained that lost time in the pit stop to Mazda. He is 10 lap younger tyres. Can he find a way past? Or is Mazda just going to hold him up once again? And it just seems to me that the Ferrari is carrying a lot more downforce. It's a lot quicker in the second sector, but it's so much slower in a straight line. Even with the DRS, it can't find a way past the Alpine. So maybe Mazda's opted to a more balanced setup, while Jamie has gone for a more downforce setup. So either way, Jamie really struggling now. He's onto the back of that car. He gets dirty air and runs a little bit wide there. Mazda holding on. As you can see here, Jamie just has more grip going through this section than Mazda. Mazda runs wide. That's given Jamie a little sniff of an opportunity, thinking I can have him here. As Jamie is now right onto the back of the Alpine. He's literally underneath the gearbox. Can he find a way through? You can just see the grip that he has as Mazda actually pits 29 laps on those tyres, and he has now opted to pit. So Jamie now moves back up into third place position. What does Gary do? He's staying out also. The Mutts Nuts in sixth place. So right now it's a fight between the top 5 and the bottom 6 at the minute, as the Mutts Nuts quite not into range with these guys. Mazda already on his way out. When does Green Pies pit? This is the question. Matt's tyres, I think, has come to their best. So Matt now is unable to bring that gap down to Green Pies, as I think he's just reached the peak of his tyre performance and is unable to go any quicker at this stage. Jamie with a decent set of medium tyres. He's actually not too far away from Matt. He's only just below 10 seconds, so if Matt has any instances or mistakes, Jamie's back up this for second place position. And scoring some decent points for Ferrari as well. Sector 2, once again, who is that? That is Rabbit Joe. He is facing the wrong way. Can he get it going before the rest of the pack turn up? That is Mazda who's coming first. Sorry, nope, that is the Mutts Nuts. So that's not still in 6th place position, nowhere near Mazda at the minute, but his goal was to keep the rest of them behind. The likes of Argent, Sutty, and also Monkey Boy, but they've also got the race leader right behind them. As Sutty moves right out of the way and gets the job done. There does Green Pies. Now will Argent do the same? Go down into turn 1. Green Pie starts lap 49. 21 to go. And Matt's still no answer so far. He's starting to lose a couple of tenths here and there too at Green Pies now. As Green Pies is actually in a little bit of traffic, so Matt will gain a little bit here. But Green Pies is near enough a whole pit stop ahead, I reckon. As Jamie comes into the pits. Is this a scheduled stop? That's 21 laps on those medium tyres, so I'm assuming so. And into the pits goes Jamie. Yep, it's a regular start. Medium tyres back on. Mazda, where is he? He's exiting the final corner, and I think Mazda should stay ahead of Jamie. It's going to be tight though. Jamie on exit. Mazda's down the back straight. Mazda looks like he's just hanging in there. So his fresher tyres has helped Mazda out, and Jamie is still behind the Alpine. So these two now will be going to the end of the race. But Jamie has lost out once again to Mazda, and the Mazda will stay in front of that Ferrari. They're basically battling it out for the final few places here on the podium. Gary has got to come in for tyres at some point, unless he thinks he can do 56 laps on those medium tyres, which would be an absolute miracle if he does. We sadly don't have the telemetry to see what they're running. Sutty right onto the back of Argent now. Couldn't be any closer between these two. Sutty looking down the inside at the quick left-hander. Is he going to send it? No, he doesn't. So he stays behind. Argent stays in 7th place position. Do not want to touch that curve, Sutty, and he doesn't do so this time. Argent running really wide and onto the grass there. Sutty had a much better run through the chicane and couldn't find a way past Argent there. So Sutty trying his absolute best to find a way through. He runs wide. So Sutty had to wait a little bit longer, but we go back to Jamie, who's on the back of Mazda. Both of these on similar old tyres. Mazda's tyres are 2 laps older than Jamie's. Big boy Brazier, can he find a way past Mazda? Ferrari versus Alpine, and at the minute the Alpine of Mazda is doing a better job. These two are starting to lap quicker than Gary, who's just put a lap on PN Motorsport. But Sutty now has managed to get past Argent. Argent losing a place there. He's now down to 8th place position. Sutty is on his way. Can he catch the Mutts Nuts by the end of the race? The Mutts Nuts on 8 lap old tyres. Sutty on 13 lap old tyres. Argent 31. He is hanging these medium tyres out for as long as he possibly can, but I think he'll need a pit stop. And as I thought, Gary is into the pits, but has he damaged the front wing? I think he might have done. He's hit the wall possibly, and that's going to lose him more places. Mazda now goes really wide. That's going to allow Jamie to get a lot closer into turn 1, but not close enough. Gary onto the soft tyre. And Gary back out on track. Where's the Mutts Nuts? Nowhere near. So the Mutts Nuts exits the final corner. Sutty has brought that gap down to the Mutts Nuts. He's absolutely flying right now as Sutty Apex on his own, and has dropped Argent relatively quickly. Is this Jamie's first race in the Formula 1? This is, yes. He has raced in Formula 1 on other leagues before, and he obviously raced that season 1, 2 and 3 of the GT3s. Has had a bit of a break and some time out, but he is back here in the Formula 1s trying to help out PN Motorsport for the Ferrari team. An ex-champion in Pro-Am as well. Got quite a lot of race wins has this man as well. So Jamie knows what to do in a racing situation, and he is taking his time to try and find a way past Mazda right now. But Mazda once again proving he is the trickiest person to overtake at Simplay Motorsport. Him and Kelly have now got this reputation of the hardest people to overtake. As once again, just out of DRS range, Jamie has no answer. He can't find a way past and is stuck behind him. Basically, these two are battling it out for the final podium position right now. As Gary's now into the pits, he has to do some monstrous lap times to catch these two up. But on the soft tyre, he should have more pace. But if he keeps it clean, he should be able to catch him. But it's going to have to take the whole 17 laps to catch him. Jamie had a much better run through the chicane, but he's still too close. Yeah, Jamie once again has a great run through the middle sector, but there's nowhere to overtake. He looks like he's got an overlap. He possibly looks like he's going to get the job done on Mazda. No, the thing is though, he's that close to him. He doesn't want to get past him because Mazda will then have the DRS. Mazda with a better run. Matahimovic retired. Oh no. Matt is going to finish this race with no points. If Rabbit Joe gets past him, Matt will score 0. Jamie's going around the outside and he's unable to do so. Safety car, that is why. Safety car has been deployed. Matt is out of this race. His car was stricken there. But Matahimovic, your championship leader, is out of this race. Green Pie straight into the pits. He's going to put the soft tyres on. All he has to do now is get home and score some good points. Oh, this is great stuff for the championship. Bad luck for Matt though, but Green Pies will extend or bring that gap down. 63 points I believe it was. He's going to steal 25 at this rate, so that will bring it down to let me do my quick maths. Oh god, 63, 5 to 8. I'll bring the gap down to 38 points. If he takes the race fastest lap as well, that will be 37 points by my calculations. But normally my calculations are dreadful, so don't go by me. As I'm just adding Matt into the party, he wants to join in the commentary box. Oh. So, while we are under safety car here, Matt has been invited to the party, so he should be able to get into the chat. But at this rate, if Rabbit Joe just gets around the track, Matt will score 0 points here at the Hungaroring. As we do have now Matt into the chat. And Matt, mate, what happened?
Just come around turn 4 and just 2 wheels on the outside curb, and the rear just snapped on me massively. Really did snap. That was uncharacteristics. It's not done that all race, and then it just went on me like you wouldn't believe, mate. Crazy.
That is crazy, but it's bad luck for you, but great for the championship though for Green Pies. This really now stops your reign of domination here at F1 to an end. So Green Pies will gain points, but obviously the news that he might not be able to do the last few rounds anyway, it's still
which is a shame.
It is a massive shame, but it still opens up to either one of you. And yeah, it just a bit of bad luck there. And you did say on the chat before we got going that you weren't sure about this round and you were worrying that it wasn't going to go your way, and by the looks of things, it hasn't.
Do you know what? And you couldn't make it up, Dan. It's struggled in qualifying and a struggle a struggle in the race. And yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? That's motor racing, and this is why we come and do it. But yeah, look, makes the championship a lot more exciting now, and it really opens a lot of things up for now to the end of the season. And yeah, shame Green Pies won't be able to finish it, but you know, for Gary, Mazda in this championship, that kind of brings them back into this play as well.
Definitely so. And as you're joining me in the commentary box, let's have a chat about Gary as well. He looked very good earlier on, did that one qualifying lap and put him on the front row. He's currently now in 4th place position. And how's he feeling in the car? Is he feeling all right, or is he just a little bit frustrated?
Very quiet at the minute. He's had a couple of mistakes, had a couple of spins, which has been frustrated. He had a good laugh at Jamie, apparently bouncing over the chicane sausage curbs and clattering into the wall. But he's been very quiet. I don't know if the little one's not unhappy or screaming down the mic, and he's muted it for us chaps in the party. Fury got very frustrated. He DNF'd. He was very annoyed at the car. It wasn't doing what he wanted it to do. Kieran and Monkey Boy have struggled a little bit. Medium tyres and hard tyres, Dan, let me tell you now, the minute you put them tyres on, you are as slidey as anything. It does take a couple of laps on them tyres to come into play here. But Gary's feeling, you know, he's not really said a lot, but he's Gary. He's a two-time champion. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, he's going to be gunning for it out there.
For sure, and it's a shame that we have to speak to you so early, but nonetheless, you get to join me in the commentary box. And it seems like a lot of people seem to be going similar downforces, but Jamie, otherwise, in the Ferrari, just seems a lot slower than everybody else. I'm not sure why.
Yes, notice that on the straights, I put the soft tyre on, and I know that I was on a lot quicker tyre, being on that soft tyre, but yeah, Jamie seemed very, very slow, and I don't know what was happening with Jamie there, but one thing I can say is he's had a good few battles tonight. He's having a good a bit of good fortune out there on the track. He's having some good racing with a few of the guys, and on his first outing on F1 this year, he looks like he's doing an all right job, but he just seems to be again struggling. PN Motorsport, I'm just noticing on the hard tyre. Yeah. That's going to be a big effort. I mean, that'll get him to the end of the race. I think anybody going onto the soft tyre now will get to the end of the race, but my days, he is going to be all over the place on them hard tyres. They're just not coming up to temperature straight away. It is taking 2 or 3 laps on the mediums as well to get right. I started that race and couldn't catch anybody. 2 or 3 laps later, the tyres came to me. So PN's going to struggle on them opening laps. I'm looking at Monkey Boy. I'm looking at Argent. Green Pies just put the soft tyre on as well. You know, they're the boys that can really do some damage here.
Yes, they can, but I think Mazda and Jamie just seem to have a little bit more pace over the guys behind him, and they seem to have a little bit over Gary as well. But Gary on no softer tyres could do something to those. So these guys are really battling it out for a new podium here that we're not going to have, obviously, Matt on the podium. We're going to have 3 new people, 3 different order on the podium. And at the minute, Green Pies is doing everything right so far. He's currently leading this race and scoring maximum points. More likely, he will get fastest lap as well, unless Jamie or Mazda or Gary or any one of these guys can take it away.
At the minute, I've got the fastest lap, so I think it then stays null and void, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you're not in the top 10 and not scoring points, then it's not avoided. So fastest lap is kind of pointless. But we are underway here. The safety car is going back into the pits, and Green Pies now determines the pace. He's got Argent right behind him, and now Jamie will decide when he wants to go. He has got a gap between him and the rest of the guys. If the safety car was kind enough, they would ask him to unlap himself, but he obviously not in this game. They're choosing not running by Michael Massey. But Green Pies exited in the final corner now. He goes very wide. He wants a good slingshot out the corner, and away we go here. But the fight is between Mazda and Big Boy Brazier as they go down in towards turn 1, and Jamie has got the run he wanted out the final corner. Is he going to send it into turn 1? Mazda defends. Mazda late brakes, and he misses his braking. Just gets it stopped, but Mazda's got round. That's giving Gary the position, so Gary moves up. Mazda and Jamie too busy fighting one another, and that's allowed the Mutts Nuts down the inside of Jamie as well. So the Mutts Nuts now up in place, but there's an AlphaTauri really slow. Gary's lost position. There goes Mazda. The Mutts Nuts has come out of nowhere, and Gary's got a penalty.
That's an absolutely crazy restart there, Dan. Mazda all over the curbs, Gary all over the curbs. Gary's now got a 5-second penalty, and all of a sudden the Mutts Nuts is sitting P2, and he's singing, he's looking good value for his money here.
Monkey Boy has dropped it and dropped to the rear. Sutty Apex up into third place as well with those soft tyres. So Sutty Apex with a brilliant restart with the Mutts Nuts as well. Sutty Apex could be on his way for a second place here. He's now looking to make a move on the Mutts Nuts. They come through the slow section here. Sutty with a much better exit out of sector 2. Can he get the run down onto turn into the corner? No, he doesn't quite. He gets really close to the back of the Mutts Nuts. He will have a tyre advantage at this stage. But Gary with a 5-second penalty. No pit stop in mind yet for him. So Green Pies gone with a 17.2. He's long gone into this, 7 seconds ahead. And now Sutty in the slipstream seems to have a much better straight line than most people here, and is looking to try and make a move on the Mutts Nuts. He's going to go right round the outside, and Sutty sends it on the Mutts Nuts, and he is now up into second place, but he runs wide.
So he took a little bit of front wing off on his pit stop earlier in the race, Dan, and it seems to have done him the wonders in the straight. He couldn't get past Mazda, he was saying, for a long time, as he was struggling to get past Mazda with the DRS with the battery, but there, straight round the outside of the Mutts Nuts. Gary seems to have followed suit as well. Mutts Nuts on 13-lap old medium tyres. Sutty and Gary pulling away here. Gary, though, he's got a mission, Dan, if you ask me, to get that 5-second gap over the likes of Mazda. Jamie...
He's in the pits.
Jamie, we've gone back to the pits here. He has, hasn't he? He's put 6-lap-old soft tyres on there, Dan. So that's an interesting tactic. Obviously, on a set of scrubbed softs, that's kind of gave Gary the buffer that Gary would have wanted.
Yeah, definitely so, and it depends all really if there's a safety car at the last stage that might help Jamie out. It has to happen in the next couple of laps, though. But right now, Sutty Apex with a absolutely brilliant restart has got himself up into the podium places, and Sutty doing a fantastic job nonetheless while his teammate is out of this race. So both these boys want to be scoring decent points for their teams, McLaren and Aston Martin, as Gary still trying to catch on to the back of Sutty, but Gary running a little bit wide on exit. The Mutts Nuts now job is to keep a Mazda and Jamie behind him, but there's a whole bunch of cars between them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know why Mazda's in the Alpine livery tonight, but Mutts Nuts Mazda teammates here, so will team orders come into play with Mazda on younger tyres? I'm not too sure, Dan. Not sure why he's running the Alpine livery. DRS just been enabled this lap. Argent onto the same lap as Jamie Brazier now, as he's unlapped himself from Jamie after Jamie's been in the pits. PN's just dropped down to 10th place on them hard tyres. He might struggle to the end of this race, but a point guaranteed for himself nonetheless.
Definitely so. Even if he doesn't finish this race, he will still get a point for this race. So nonetheless, Rabbit Joe still sticking at it as well. He's done a fantastic job to keep on track. He's had a couple
He's
of
scored
spins.
points every race he's had, Dan. Every race he's taken part in F1 this season, he's scored points. So he's done well this season, is Joe, and he seems like he's getting to the grips with F1 each race he does.
As Mummy D has joined in the chat saying hello, what's going on here? As Matt has dropped out of the race, he made a little mistake touching the curb, which then caused the safety car, which has allowed Sutty Apex to get a second place position. So after this race, I think Sutty will be shaking your hand after this one, Matt. You'll be thinking, thank you very much.
Out of nowhere as well, Dan, because he binned it at the chicane as I come past him after my second pit stop, and he really had some damage after that. Nearly kind of took Jamie out the race as well, because he said, he says, you ghost when you're a lap, Dan, when you've spun, don't you? And I said, no, and he went, are you sure? Oh crap, I've reversed in front of Jamie. So, so he's lucky to still be in this race, but yes, he's had a bit of bad fortune and the good fortune with him now. You look at Gary, look, he's got a 2.9 second gap to the Mutts Nuts.
That's Argent. Oh, he's very cautious there. He needs to get back on track, but he's doing a 10 million point turn just to get the car back on track, and he does somewhat of a good job of getting out of the way every time. Whoa! As PN Motorsport has a brown pants moment there, as Argent now drops to 9th place position. How is Jamie getting on? He still hasn't quite caught this pack yet, so 22.5 seconds behind Mazda. There's no real chance for him to really catch him unless something major happens.
Argent's
like
round
that.
again.
Argent's
round again, Dan.
That famous curb. You touch that curb, you go spinning round, and I bet that's caught a few drivers out tonight, hasn't it, Matt?
It has. It's caught a few drivers. Fury was one. He's missed the chicane now, Argent. Dan, you know this game as well as me. The minute you have a couple of spins on a set of tyres, it takes a long time for them tyres to come back down and get back to the right temperatures. Argent is sliding and slipping all over the place at the moment. And, he's wide, really wide again. I think he's got Jamie on the back of him. He has to put a lap on him. So Jamie's relapped Argent there, and Argent struggling down in 10th place. It's going to take him a while to get them softs back down to where they need to be.
Yeah, definitely so. They're probably overheating like mad, but it is currently Green Pies who is still leading the race. We've still got 10 laps to go here, and so far Green Pies is going to bring that gap down to his championship rival as we will head to Spa. I know for a fact that this wasn't a round you were looking forward to, was it, Matt? But
No.
Knowing that this round is going to be out of your way, you head to Spa. Will that be a bit better for yourself?
Yeah, I like Spa based off of last week in the GT3s as well, and we've got the 6 hour coming up at Spa. We've got Spa next week. A lot of Spa happening recently, but no, I like Spa. I like it as a track. It's a good circuit. It's a historic one that a lot of people seem to enjoy. Yeah, no, we'll go again next week. Look, with me crashing out tonight, it kind of brings Gary and Mazda back into play, and although I'm kind of annoyed at myself for making that error, it kind of, like you said, makes the championship open up, especially with Green Pies not able to finish. Really gives Gary and Mazda the chance to close that gap. So it's it's still game on for everybody here.
Oh, definitely so. And with the likes of Jamie as well, who looks very strong. He's had a bit of a bad luck in this as well. If Jamie finishes the season like he's doing so far, then, and has a bit more luck his way, he could be a man who could take race wins away from yourself and Green Pies as well. So Sutty and Gary on top form, and also Jamie on top form. Mazda with playing the Trustigit card a little bit better as well. He's very good at working out tyres and strategy, is Mazda. And if he can do that as well throughout the rest of the season, and if we get wet weather as well, it still opens up to everybody still in this championship.
Do you know, when I look at the championship as well, Sutty sits on 49 points. So do you know what? A couple of good results for him. And it isn't without complications at the minute for him to go, a good result tonight. What? Podium puts him 18 points. That's 18 more points he gains on me. He's 100 behind me with 7 rounds to go. Sutty's not out this championship fight as well here. It just takes a couple of rounds to go his way. And like you say, with Jamie taking wins off of people and Green Pies taking wins off of people until he has his move to Milan, I think it was, he said. Jamie's playing a good game here. Look at this battle low down for P4. Nuts and Mazda with Rabbit Joe gaining on the back of these two, even though he's a lap down.
We are on board with Mazda, who goes very wide through the middle sector there, and you can just see the tyres just not wanting to grip up there with Mazda. Obviously the downforce with these older cars still we're running here on F1 2021. The cars don't like following one another, and as soon as you get into that dirty air, the car becomes very unstable. And I bet you found that a few times, Matt, as well tonight, especially with the medium
it's
tyre.
terrible. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. And I think it's just Sutty's biggest problem. Sutty was catching Mazda, and he kept saying that the minute you get into that middle sector where the corners start to flow a little more, Sutty then lost that time. And even though we were still getting DRS, was having to remake the time back up, because the minute you get close, these cars are all over the place. They're not the cars we're seeing of this year in the real world where they're able to follow each other. These are a struggle. These are a handful. You come down the first sector where we're seeing Mazda coming through at the moment, everything fine. The minute you hit that chicane, you do not want to be too close to the car in front.
Definitely so, as Mazda has now lost a little bit of time, and Rabbit Joe is absolutely flying at the minute just behind him. But Rabbit Joe's at a
What a shame he's a lap down.
It is a shame that he's a lap down, but Rabbit Joe at this point, what does he do? Does he overtake Mazda, or does he just follow him home? If anything, if I was Rabbit Joe, still learning, I'd be watching the back of Mazda, watching his lines, figuring out his driving style, and try and learn for himself while he has this opportunity to kind of test as such. Behind.
I'd be tempted to unlap though, Dan. Monkey Boy 2.1 off the back of him. I'd be tempted to unlap so that he puts a car between himself and Monkey Boy. Just maybe follow Mazda for a bit, and then if Monkey Boy is closing that gap, which he has done 3/10 through that middle sector, maybe try and get past Mazda in the DRS to just put a car between yourself and Monkey Boy in 8th place.
Speaking of gaps coming down, Gary 131 has managed to bring the gap down to Sutty to just over a second. It was 9/10 going into the final.
He's got DRS.
Not quite. He hasn't quite got DRS. He didn't quite get it into
the rear wing was open on my screen there.
On my
it's
screen
open again.
It wasn't open. So,
okay.
Right. So Gary
Okay.
does have DRS then, according to Matt's screen. And you can tell he's gained a lot of time through there. So Gary has chopped that gap down to Sutty. Now, the thing he has to do is clear Sutty and make 5 seconds within 6 laps.
if Sutty's wise, Sutty won't fight him too hard here. He won't ruin his tyres and fight Gary too hard. These two are old rivals, and we know how good of friends and rivals they are on and off the track. If Sutty's wise... Oh, he's lost it, Dan! Dan, Sutty's had a moment. I think he's lost a bit of front wing.
Oh no, Sutty, this was looking so good for you, and it is a little bit of front wing gone. So 6 laps to go. He's got a little bit of gap to the Mutt's nuts. So does Sutty stay out on track?
That will hurt. This game is you lose an end plate. That will absolutely destroy his race now, Dan.
Oh, so we could be talking to the Mutt's nuts on the podium here. Mazda will suddenly realise that Sutty's struggling with the front wing. He'll need to come into the pits as Sutty does come into the pits. That's going to help Jamie out a little bit. So where is Jamie on track? He's currently in the going into the 3rd sector. So yeah, Jamie should be able to jump Sutty here. So the Mutt's nuts now up into 3rd place position. Mazda up into 4th, and Rabbit Joe still sitting on the back of that Alpine.
Sitting on the back of the Alpine, Monkey Boy 1.6 behind, just starting to catch Joe a little bit, but Joe on the DRS, the 2 DRS zones, because it's a double detection zone here, is being able to just extend that gap once again. Monkey Boy catching through the corners. Mazda said before we came on air, Dan, I can't remember if he was in the party or not, he was slower than Kieran on the time trial, and is struggling around here. He made it clear that he was struggling. So the fact he's sitting 4th place is a fantastic effort for him. Is he going to try and get past Mutsnut for that podium? Who knows, but Gary, well... he's been gifted a 2nd place there, you have to say.
Yeah, very much so. Unless anything happens between himself at the end, Rabbit Joe is still right onto the back of Mazda, and Mazda now is at a tricky situation. He'll want to try and jump the Mutt's nuts. He's got 9 tenths between him and a podium, basically. So Mazda trying his absolute best, but Rabbit Joe is hassling the back of him as we got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Why have we got a yellow flag in Sector 2? I believe it's for PN Motorsport. I think it's going Mazda. Right. Sorry, not Mazda. Jamie seems a bit slow through there. That's where the yellow flag was pinning up. But Mazda now is within 8 tenths of the Mutt's nuts. He gets DRS. The Mutt's nuts defending the inside. This will be the Mutt's nuts' best result if he gets on the podium. I don't think we've ever spoken to the Mutt's nuts on the podium, so it'd be nice to speak to him. But Mazda now, exiting turn 1, is right on the back of the Mutt's nuts. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Mazda as well here. 3-lap younger tyres than the Mutt's nuts, and it looks like that the mediums have just started to come to Mazda now, because he did drop with it over a second behind the Mutt's nuts. Now he just looks like he's getting into a rhythm with them tyres coming back to him, and he seems to be finally starting to pump the lap times in that he wants to. He'll be going to the end on them tyres. They've got plenty of life left in them. I did 37 on mine, and they still had some life left in them there. So Mazda's got plenty of life in them tyres, and he'll hope that the Mutt's nuts will make a mistake. Oh no!
Whoa! As he's gone right across Monkey Boy there. And has managed to just keep it going. So Rabbit Joe nearly hitting Monkey Boy out of that one. So that helps Monkey Boy out. Who else is that going to help out? PN Motorsport is still quite a bit away.
Joe's struggling though, Dan. He's wide on a couple of corners as he's got re-going here, and PN Motorsport fully up to speed. In fact, no, that's not PN, sorry, that was Jamie Brazy behind him. Sorry, I thought it was
Let's go back
PN.
to the Mutt's Nuts and Mazda, because Mazda's brought the gap down to 3 tenths between him and the Mutt's Nuts. So Mazda should have a great run out the final corner. He gets better traction. He goes straight to the inside to defend. Mazda with the DRS gets a lot closer. He goes to the outside. He's switching to the inside, but he thinks better of it. So the Mutt's Nuts will carry on leading that 3rd place position, the final podium position. But Mazda with DRS, he's only got a few laps left.
Dan, Joe's gone into the pit, so he could probably lose out to PN Motorsport and Argent here. Joe's in the pits. Obviously, the tyres have been shot, but Mazda, like you said, he jinked left, he jinked right. He's a very good defender, is Mazda. Let's see what he can do offensively.
Yeah, I was saying in the chat earlier on, Matt, I think Mazda and Kelly have now basically stated that in most drivers' opinions, these two are probably the hardest people to overtake, Mazda and Kelly. And Mazda really showing it tonight, as most of the drivers, just as soon as they catch him, they just can't find a way past. Now Mazda's on the other end of the stick. He now has to try and find a way past the car.
Yeah, how can he do offensively compared to defensively? I mean, I got behind Mazda, fresh softs, DRS battery, was clearly the quicker car with his older medium tyres, but just could not get past him. He put the car exactly where it needed to be, and like you say, a lot of compliments have gone the way of Kelly in recent weeks over his defensive driving. I know Mazda at times on F1's come under criticism from myself and Gary for a few events, but I tell you what, he does know what he's doing, and he'll make it hard for you. But the nuts here, look, just trying to break the toe a little bit. Not a big fan of the weaving, but he's made his 2 manoeuvres and kept it in a straight line, so he's at least kept to within the rules of F1. And Mazda up the inside through turn 1. Mutsnut's going to try and hang it around the outside. I thought none of them were appearing then on the camera.
Yeah, neither did I. But Mazda gets the job done. He is now up into 3rd place position. So the Mutsnuts drops down to 4th place. But nonetheless, the Mutsnuts tried his absolute best and is now going to lose out in the toe of that Alpine. I'm assuming they're teammates. I don't know why Mazda has picked the Alpine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But nonetheless, Mazda now up into 3rd place position. And that's going to do him a well good, considering he started last on the grid as well. As the Mutsnuts goes wide and onto the grass.
The man who's flying at the minute, Dan, I've just noticed, Sooty Apex has got the gap from 5 down to 2.7 seconds on Jamie Brazier. He is a man on a mission to try and just make up a few extra points. Don't think he'll get the Mutsnuts in time. He's got, don't forget, these boys have got 2 and a bit laps left. Green Pies have started the penultimate lap. But Sooty here on a real charge, 13 lap younger tyres than Big Boy Brazier, and wants some points back after he made that mistake a few laps ago.
Yeah, definitely so. Sutty is now trying to hunt down the Ferrari. But nonetheless, it's nice seeing 2 Ferraris on the grid, and PM Motorsport will obviously be happy that he now has a teammate to help defend for the Ferrari name. So Big Boy Brazier really helping him out here at Ferrari. And nonetheless, he's done a very good show, considering this is the first time he's just jumped straight on and had a go at this.
The bonus for Ferrari as well, this will pull them away from Red Bull in the championship. They've already got a 10-point gap there. This will bring them right into that Alpha Tauri Alpine battle, with Smithy not scoring points and no Alpine driver actually being here in terms of Biggs or Emo guy tonight. So this for Ferrari could see them maybe get a top 5, if not top 4. We've lost the Mutsnuts.
That's going to promote Jamie and Sutty. So there won't be a safety car now, but the Mutsnuts is into the wall. So just as we were praising him and he was going to have his best result here at Simplay Motorsport, he's dropped it right at the end. And this is the fun of doing a 100% Grand Prix. You've done the majority of the race and he just drops it at the end here, as Green Pies now starts his final lap here at the Hungaroring. Gary coming into the final few sectors. But that has secured Mazda a 3rd place position and Gary a 2nd place position. But Jamie now up to 4th. Sutty has made a mistake as well. He's 10 seconds back.
Yeah. He's had a moment coming into the chicane and down there, and he looks like he's just gone too hot coming into the chicane. And what a shame for Sutty, because he was on a real charge and could have got back to a P4 there. And that's a shame for Sutty. Maybe just pushing a bit too hard to get that place off of Jamie, knowing that he messed his race up earlier on. But shame for him. But wow, the Mutsnuts, just saying about Ferrari going to score some good points here. Williams now, with the Mutsnuts only getting a point, that really helps Ferrari score more points than Williams in today's race. So I tell you what, the Williams team might want to look over their shoulders, because not only have they got a McLaren team of Sutty and Fury coming at them with Kelly's points from earlier in the season, they've got a Ferrari team that now have a good 2 drivers, and one of them who's really fast, that can really start to maybe hurt Williams in this constructors battle.
As Empire says, commentator's curse strikes again. But nonetheless, there's no commentator's curse for this man. Green Pies exits the penultimate corner. Into the final corner he comes. And Green Pies will take a race win here at the Hungaroring for Alfa Romeo. An unbelievable form of dominance there from Green Pies. And he cuts the championship massively between him and Mata Himovic. So congratulations to Green Pies, as he also takes fastest up of the race, I believe, as Gary exits the final corner as well. Gary, solid drive, finishes 2nd as well. Gary, 5-second penalty will be added to his time, as Mazda will come across.
Just noticing.
Go on.
Mutsnuts has come away with a 9th place because he was a lap ahead of Rabbit Joe, so Joe will stay 10th.
So the Mutsnuts hang on to 2 points, but Mazda will come home for 3rd place. He'll be happy with that. Jamie, Big Boy Brazier's first attempt here in F1, and he will come home for a 4th place position. He'll be happy with that one, as he gets a little bit of a run towards his crew. And Sutty Apex, what could have been, he was 2nd at one point, The little mistake towards the end of this race will come home for 5th place position. Monkey Boy in 6th. PN Motorsport in 7th, but Ferrari will score decent points here tonight. Argent in 8th place position. The Mutts Nuts will finish in 9th, and 10th will be Rabbit Joe. But your winner tonight here is Green Pie. So Matt, can you do me a favour and get Mazda, Gary and Green Pies in the party chat, and we will have a chat with them. But nonetheless, Green Pies who takes the win. Guys, get your votes for driver of the day, and according to the game, it goes to Mazda for driver of the day. And this is your finishing order here tonight. Oh no, we'll get the podium celebrations. I'm not used to seeing all this. But it is Green Pies for Alfa Romeo is your race winner. Gary 131 will take a 2nd place, and 3rd place is Mazda. So great racing from them, and I'm pretty sure Matt is updating the tables as we speak.
I am just trying to see where people finished at the minute, so just give me 2 seconds.
No worries, but that is your top 3. The Hungaroring has caused absolute chaos. 2 weeks as a break, and Matimovic has got it all to do as he makes a mistake here tonight. But it is Green Pies who is your race winner and takes fastest lap as well, so he maximizes his points, and he also took pole position, so that's an extra point for him as well. But nonetheless, Green Pies is your winner, and we do have Green Pies in the chat. Also, we have Gary. Have we got Mazda in yet? I don't think we do.
No, yes, Mazda's in. No, that's Green Pies. There's pictures. Sorry, they've got the same picture. No Mazda yet. Just Gary and Green Pies.
Well, we'll start with Gary. And Gary, that was an interesting race for yourself, up and down constantly, but nonetheless, you've come home in 2nd place position, and you've also brought the gap down to Matt as well. So all in all, not a bad night.
Yeah, good night. I was quite comfortable. I made a couple of errors, but that's just me being a bit rusty and not having a lot of practice. But at the last restart there, I got penalised for, well, I don't know what really I was meant to do. I was going around the outside, I've had a tangle, and I've had to go off the track to avoid them. And then I've waited to give Jamie the place back, and he hasn't gone past, and he's given me a 5-second penalty anyway. But never mind, it didn't affect the result. So
I was going to say, it doesn't seem to affect the end result anyway, so you do walk away with 2nd place. But nonetheless, good points for yourself and Matt for Aston Martin, though. Obviously, with Matt not scoring any points, you're the man having to do the job and actually finish the race this time.
Well, yeah, Matt, I don't think he was really under much pressure, but he just seemed to have dropped it, so I don't really know what happened, but that is part of racing, I suppose.
Roles reversed from the previous league we was in, where I scored all the points and Gary kept dropping it, so I thought I'd let Gary have the pressure for a change.
Yeah, I'll give you that, fair point.
Well, obviously now with Matt having a mistake and the points has now come down a little bit, are you able to actually catch your teammate on points, or is it more just as each race comes?
Yeah, each race comes for me at the moment. Like I said, I can't put the practice in, so I'm just coming and enjoying the racing, really, to be fair. I had some good races with a couple of people side by side for a couple of laps, but other than that, it was pretty just Sunday drive, really, to be fair.
Very much so. We head to Spa as the next round of the championship. Are you looking forward to that one?
No.
Really?
Hate the track.
Just to put in, sorry, didn't used to have a big coming together, Dan, on the last season we did of F1 in another league? You hit the back of Gary didn't move, you DNF'd?
The Racing Point did not move at all. I don't know what the back of the Racing Point was made of, but my Renault ploughed into the back of it and it was completely ruined. So Gary's not looking forward to Spa by the sound of things.
No, I don't like Spa. That'll be a case of turning up and just trying to keep it out the wall, I suppose, to be fair. But we'll see.
Well, fair enough, mate. Take it easy, and we'll see you in a week's time at Spa-Francorchamps.
Cheers, boys. Well done, Mazda and Green Pies.
As we do move on to Mazda, and first things first, Mazda, we need to clear this up. Why were you running as Alpine and not Williams?
Right, because I thought we've got every team on the grid apart from an Alpine. I thought, well, let's get all the 23 cars on the grid. Or was it 20? I don't know.
20. 20. Yeah, Biggs and Emo Guy wasn't there.
Yeah, I thought let's get all the teams on the grid.
Either way, a good result for yourself, a 3rd place when just before the night began, yourself, Matt, and a load of others were doing a lot of practicing, and even yourself were struggling in practice. So, nonetheless, to walk away with 3rd place was pretty good in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I was practicing and I was just like, oh my god. I'm even slower than Kieran Ergen over one lap. Like, Wow, I am gonna struggle here, but luckily it paid off. Yeah.
Consistency and keeping your nodes clean and working out the strategy really
Well,
fitted in your favour.
well, the strategy came down to a T, the racing part, where coming together with Jamie on the restart, and yeah.
Were you
I went
running?
deep.
Go on.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to move on to my next question. So carry on what you were saying about yourself and Jamie.
Basically, that restart, I went deep because he had a quick look, and I went on the outside and I just lit the rear up, and I was just a passenger then. And then I think because I contacted Jamie and I was trying to turn away,
Yeah.
we were tangled, we were just going together, and that's how everybody passed me.
Fair enough. Obviously, going into next week, going to Spa, you seem to be a very good a defensive driver. Every time anyone caught you, no one seems to find a single way pass. I think only one person did, which was Matt, but he had to have fresher tyres and soft tyres as well. Were you running quite a higher downforce than everyone else? Because you seem to have a lot more straight line speed than everyone.
No, I was just running increased downforce. I think everybody was using max downforce. I don't know, but there was some corners where I really struggled. I wish I didn't go to max downforce, but I think the speed must have helped me out that little bit.
Yeah. Well, we go to Spa next week. Are you looking forward to Spa?
Yeah, it's my favourite track, so bring it on. Hopefully I can get into the top 3 again. Hopefully, you never know.
Well, you're slowly bringing, with Matt not scoring either, you do bring the gap down a little bit to him as well. So nonetheless, you are gaining a bit more points on Aston Martin and also on Matt himself. But congratulations on 3rd place, mate, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Yep, see you in a week's time.
And we now move on to your race winner, Green Pies, and he was saying to me in a private chat that he needed a little bit of luck to go his way. Well, you couldn't have more luck than that, Green Pies. Matt not scoring points and you taking a race win and fastest lap as well. What more could you have asked?
Well, it was probably the most boring race I've ever done, but at the same time, the most perfect race. I didn't put a single foot wrong the entire race. And when I saw Matt DNF'd, the audible was very loud.
But nonetheless, you have cut the gap by quite a bit. There's now only 37 points separating you and Matt. That does make it a little bit more realistic for you. You now get to Spa. And if I remember rightly, the last time that we all raced a group together at Spa, it didn't quite go your way at Spa, did it?
Yeah, I'm going to throw that down to setup, but I told you after Silverstone, after what happened at Silverstone with my DNF, that I'd come back from Malta, a new driver, a better driver, and I intend to do that, so I'm going to go for the win at Spa.
And obviously with the rumours that you won't be able to make the last couple of races, is it literally all about score as many points from here until then to gain that gap on Matt?
Yeah, right now it is literally throw everything at the wall and hope everything sticks.
Well, fair enough, mate. Well, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on fastest lap as well.
Well done.
And we will see you in a week's time at Spa-Francorchamps.
You will.
Cool. Right, that is it here for F1 in the F1, and we do move on to a week's time as we will be heading to Spa, and then after that we'll be back once again live in 2 weeks' time as the World Endurance will have their go at Spa-Francorchamps. 6 hours of Spa. We're just loving Spa here at Simply Motorsport. We're just getting ready for when F1 decides to dump it off its calendar. But nonetheless, here. From myself, from all the guys here at the F1 group, it's a good night and a massive congratulations to Green Pies on the win tonight. But we'll see you in a week's time.